Okay, so welcome back, Elaine, to the Zoom room for another part of letting go live. Well, an hour or so today, so make it quite quick. Yeah, so let's jump into okay, so today's email. Just share my screen with you. Okay, so if you can kick it off with this quote, let's make it a bit bigger. There's quite a lot of text there. Can you see that? Okay.
If I pinch it out, yes.
Elaine?
Yes. I can see it, but we can make it a bit bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. So if you can read this, this is a sort of a song called "I Can See Clearly Now" by an artist called Jimmy Cliff, which was the theme song of a movie called Cool Runnings, which I'll talk about just now. So just read the lyrics. It's really quite profound.
Yeah. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's going to be a bright, 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 sunny day. Oh, yes, I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I have been praying for. Look around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Here is that rainbow I have been praying for. It's going to be a bright, 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 sunny day. Sunny, shiny day. Sunshiny day.
Sunshiny day, yeah. So it's I don't know if you've heard it. So it's a
Yeah,
lovely
I have,
song.
yes, I have.
You can listen to it. Uh, you can listen to it in the actual email or my text message. So it was about it was a theme Cool Runnings, which is based on a true story about a Jamaican bobsleigh team who qualified for and competed in the '88 Winter Olympics and against all the odds. I mean, Jamaica is hot, right? There's no ice. It's nearly the equator. There's no ice and snow. So how did a Jamaican bobsleigh team ever get to Calgary is the question. So the movie tells the story. So basically a bunch of four hunters who hadn't managed to get to the summer games because they'd fallen in a race. And one guy's like, well, I want to go to the Olympics. And he starts exploring his dad's history. His dad was a sprinter, and his dad had this relationship with this guy who was a bobslayer. And the theory of this guy was that because they're so fast, right? It's all about the start. There are four people at the start of a bobsled race, and you have to run as fast as you can and push the bobsled down the track and then jump in. So it's a explosive sprint to start with, and that gives you the momentum to go fast down the track. Just a really inspirational story. A lot of lessons in that story. A great movie to watch. So that's something you can watch this weekend. So looks cleverly use of rain, clouds, blue sky, the sun. a rainbow to point to the truth of clear perception. Dark clouds of illusion obscure the truth continually in this world. So if you interpret those symbols in this way, obviously, so rain is tears, clouds are misperceptions, blue skies symbolizes pure formless. The sun is the eternal source of perfect love. Bright is happy, sunshiny is loving, rainbow is correction of misperceptions. So if you make those substitutes for the terms and you reread it, then see how it reads. So read this alternative version.
I can see clearly now, the tears are gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the limited misperceptions that made me blind. It's going to be a happy, loving day. Oh yes, I can rise above it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that correction I've been praying for. Look all around. There's nothing but pure formless awareness. Look straight ahead. There's nothing but pure formless awareness. I can see clearly now. The tears are gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Here is that correction I've been praying for. It's going to be a happy, loving day.
Yeah, if you translate it like that, that's directly in alignment with the course teachings and any great spiritual teachings. That you let go of the illusions that make you sad, and find the happiness that comes from this pure formless awareness that lies beyond it. So even a simple song like this, a feel-good song, you can see the Holy Spirit coming into it very clearly. And then the movie, has this uplifting, inspiring story as well. So the inspiration and the holiness is everywhere. If the symbols in the dream are always there if we look for them and we're open to them. So do watch the movie and listen to the song. Have you watched the
not yet,
Cool
no.
Run?
Not yet.
No, definitely worth watching. So I think I included tomorrow in the email text message as your recommended movie for the weekend. So it's definitely worth watching. Okay, so that brings us into our lesson. So let's go have a look at today's lesson, which is where are we? Do we not have it? No, we don't. Okay, we'll just have to find it. Lesson 285. There we go. That's what we want. So let's have a look at we did the Holy Spirit yesterday. So let's do the let's do the summary. Why don't we do that?
Yeah. Remembrance of perfect
So we'll
love.
do the summary of the Holy Spirit.
Right. where the remembrance of perfect love bridges the gap between illusions and truth, guiding my dreams to the truth where they are dispelled in the pure formless awareness of knowledge. It leads me beyond sights and sounds to the tranquil end of perception, where I will let go of my illusions forever. Its teaching aims to end all my dreams by transforming my fearful perceptions into witnesses to love.
So thoughts on that?
Just the remembrance of perfect love is the bridge in the gap between the illusions and truth, guiding the dreams to the truth and going beyond our sights and sounds to our true tranquil end and let go of the illusions forever.
Yeah, just the guide that leads us home, really, out of the illusion but truth. It's a bridge between the worlds. We discussed this yesterday, but I'll just show you briefly. Here's the Holy Trinity. That's working. Okay, never mind. So the Holy Spirit is symbolized by the arrows in this diagram. It's the mechanism of changing our mind, changing our perceptions under the guidance of the true self or the Christ mind. Helps us change our perceptions, restore our mind to identifying with our true self that knows that it is one with everyone and everything, because its self is derived from its perfect love. And our true perceptions reconnect us then with our true self, and via our true formless awareness of perfect love ultimately lead us back home. Eventually we will just collapse all of the dreams, all of true, even needing to correct perceptions. And collapse perception, we go into this formless awareness of perfect. It's also called knowledge. So of course the course says, you go from perception to knowledge, your Holy Spirit, to awaken. Okay, you want to read the next one?
When I fully achieve this, with the guidance of the remembrance of perfect love, learning will have served its purpose and will be replaced by the eternal truth. My true awareness wants me to recognize my innocence. If I listen to its voice and let go of my fearful images and self-made means of exile, the remembrance of perfect love will transform these into tools to restore my awareness to my true home in peace and sanity. So when we've fully achieved this guidance of remembrance of perfect love, it'll be replaced by this eternal truth, and our true awareness wants to recognize this innocence. So if we listen to that voice and let go of the fearful images, which are all self-made, the remembrance of perfect love will transform and restore our awareness back home to peace and sanity.
Yeah. Well said. Elaine?
Yes, I'm here. It seems as though there's some interference in the back. There's a bit of interference in the background. Oh, it's okay now.
Okay. Yeah, I just said my internet connection is stable. I'll just take off my video.
It's like it needs tuned in.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Can you read the last paragraph?
yes, I can. Originating from knowledge, the remembrance of perfect love continually asks me to let go of dreams. If I cling to my illusions, they will continue to frighten me, and the memory of my source's love will remain obscure to me. Only by letting go can I return to the quietness and peace of the state of pure formless awareness. I accept my source's gift, a call from love to love, restoring my completeness as perfect love's beloved extension. By fulfilling my function of completing pure formless awareness of perfect love, I align with its only will, which is that I recognize I am already complete in truth. I will not refuse this function, for it leads me home to completion. It's just saying that this remembrance of perfect love is continually asking us
Okay.
to let go of the dreams. And if we do continue to cling to these dreams, they'll just continue to frighten us. And the memory of the source's love will just remain obscure. So we have to let go, or only by letting go can we return to this quietness and peace of this state of pure formless awareness. So once we accept the source's gift, restoring the completeness to perfect love's beloved extension, we can then align with its only will, which of course we recognize is what we already are in complete. We are already complete in truth. So we won't refuse this. And so this will lead us home to the completion.
Hmm. Will not refuse this function, for it leads me home to completion. So just the Holy Spirit is just the part of our mind that allows us to let go and correct our perception. So it's more of a process than an entity. It's the actual process of changing our mind, inspired by the true self, which knows that only oneness is true. That true self now helps us to change our mind. The process of changing our mind, correcting our perception, letting go, surrendering, forgiving, whatever you want to call it, is this process of awakening, healing, transformation, enlightenment, salvation, call it whatever you want, that the Holy Spirit then is in charge of. So it's a process of correcting your perceptions moment by moment as they arise. If you perceive incorrectly, change it, change your mind. And it's in those moments where you change your mind that you start to learn who you are and who you're not. And you start to either raise yourself up into the awareness, or you condemn yourself to this very limited negative awareness of a separate self. Those are the choices. In every situation, you have those two choices, particularly ones that trigger you, that challenge you. If you're just going for a walk or making a cup of coffee and there's no major decision to make, it doesn't seem like you've got a choice. But even then, your underlying attitude, are you feeling peaceful? Are you feeling content? Are you feeling happy? Just enjoying the moment? Or is there discontent? Are you going, well, I'm just stressed about, what's happening and I've got various things to do, and your mind is filled with stuff to do in the future? Well, then you're making a choice for the limited separate self in that moment. So the Course is teaching us that all day, every day, you're choosing between these thought systems, and you can and must choose the Holy Spirit to help you awaken. Otherwise, you will just remain asleep in the separate self, separated from your true self, and miles away from pure formless awareness of perfect love, where the ego wants to keep you in the box of a separate self in this world, in a very limited, negative awareness. Okay, so that's the Holy Spirit. That's what it is. That's what it does. It's very important in the dream. Necessary to listen to it to awaken. Once you get into pure formless awareness of perfect love, and you merge your mind with that, it's not important at all. Its function is over, because you don't need anything to help you correct perceptions, and you don't need a true self that now sits there and perceives correctly, because there is no world to perceive. So it all just collapses back into the one source awareness we call God. So stated in this Holy Trinity terminology, the Holy Spirit and the Christ mind lead you back to unity with God, ultimately to being one with this pure formless awareness of perfect love. Okay, so it leads us on to our lesson. Maybe let's just do something else. I think so manual for teachers. No, we want patience. I think patience. There we go. So this is section 8 of chapter 4. Subsection 8 of section 4, subsection 8 of section 4 of the Manual for Teachers, which is all about the characteristics of God's teachers. So this one is on patience. It's one of the characteristics of God's teachers. So just one paragraph and a quick summary. I'll read it in the original, you read it in the alternative. So those who are certain of the outcome can afford to wait and wait without anxiety.
Those who are certain of the outcome can afford to wait without anxiety.
Patience is natural to the teacher of God.
Patience is natural to the teachers of perfect love.
All he sees is certain outcome at a time perhaps unknown to him as yet, but not in doubt.
All they perceive is a certain outcome at a time perhaps unknown to them as yet, but not in doubt.
The time will be as right as is the answer.
Time will be as right as the answer is.
And this is true for everything that happens now or in the future.
And this is true for everything that happens now or in the future.
The past as well held no mistakes, nothing that did not serve to benefit the world, as well as him to whom it seemed to happen.
The past held no mistakes as well, nothing that did not serve to benefit the world as well as the person to whom it seemed to happen.
Perhaps it was not understood at the time.
Perhaps it was not understood at the time.
Perhaps Perhaps I did not understand it. I'll make it personalized. Even so, the teacher of God is willing to reconsider all his past decisions if they are causing pain to anyone.
Even so, the teacher of perfect love is willing to reconsider all his past decisions if they are causing pain to anyone.
So the teachers of perfect love are willing to reconsider all their past decisions if they're causing pain to anyone. Okay. Good. Patience is natural to those who trust.
Patience is natural to those who trust.
Sure of the ultimate interpretation of all things in time, no outcome already seen or yet to come can cause them fear.
They cannot fear any outcome they already perceive or anticipate because they are sure of the ultimate interpretation of all events in time. On the top, those who are certain of the outcome can afford to wait without anxiety. Patience is natural to the teachers of perfect love. All they perceive is a certain outcome, at a time perhaps unknown to them as yet, but not in doubt. The time will be as right as the answer. And this is true for everything that happens now or in the future. The past held no mistakes as well. Nothing they did not serve to benefit the world, as well as the person to whom it seemed to happen. Perhaps I did not understand it at the time. Even so, the teachers of perfect love are willing to reconsider all their past decisions if they are causing pain to anyone. Patience is natural to those who trust. They cannot fear any outcome they already perceive or anticipate because they are sure of the ultimate interpretation of all events in time. It's just saying that the outcome, those who are certain of the outcome can wait without anxiety, and its patience is natural to teachers of perfect love. It's like I say, patience is natural to those who trust. They cannot fear any outcome they already perceive or anticipate because they are sure of the ultimate interpretation of all events in time. So it's just there's certainty there. And even the past decisions, talking about the past
Yeah. If I trust the ultimate outcome, I can be patient. Okay, there's a process here. I understand that, but the ultimate outcome is sure. So, what's the bother? What's the stress? There is none. I just patiently go about my business, which is to manage my thoughts and emotions and let go of the ones that don't serve me, and trust that ultimately that's going to awaken me, and I will transcend the entire illusion. Cannot fear any outcome because they are sure of the ultimate interpretation of all events in time. And that ultimate interpretation is simply that none of it's true. Nothing I see means anything. And I've just given all the meaning it has for me. It's an illusion. So great qualities, and you notice that the ego is always impatient. You know, go, 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 patient, lack of patience, and then that causes problems. Because if you're not patient, what you're saying is I don't have awareness. In the moment, my decision isn't well considered, I'm just reacting. So it's this gap between stimulus and response that we need to create. When you create that gap, then you have time, you have space to consider, to contemplate, to reflect. You don't have to react, and that's patience. I don't have to rush into anything. I can just bide my time. I can be a bit more patient, um, and and that has been traditionally associated with wisdom. And the wise are patient. Desperation, urgency, these are not qualities typically associated with wisdom, are they? Because the ego is always like, no, 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 I want it now. Urgency, make it happen now. It's like, well, why? Why does it have to happen now? Could we not just, consider it, wait? And, I've just experienced something in business where someone acted in a very knee-jerk way, just like reacting and not considering, and then it kicks off a whole chain of consequences that haven't been good. Well, all you had to do was just wait a few hours, discuss it, let's talk about it, let's think about it, deliberate, consider the options, and then you make a decision rather than just jumping into it.
That's the one.
So these are very practical applications.
They are
Very practical applications in business, in life.
any relations, yeah.
Mm. To be able to pause, to
Yeah.
to just calm down, to not have to like rush into things, is a sign of wisdom. Maybe there are the odd times where okay, I have to act. It's like it's an emergency. I've got to do something now. But a lot of the time you don't. So okay, I can actually relax a bit and just consider, reflect instead of jumping into something. How many times have you sent an email and you go, oh, I shouldn't have sent that?
Oh,
Or you make a
yes.
call, you
Yeah.
speak to someone, you go, oh, I
Mm,
shouldn't have really said that.
yeah.
So now, if there's an email that's got emotional charge, I leave it. I just write it and then I leave it. I go, okay, I'll just leave that. And usually I look at it, the next day, and I go, do I really want to send that? I've said my
Mm,
piece, kind of got it out. Do I really actually want to send that? And often I don't. Just leave it or change the message. But a lot of the time you don't actually need to respond. So you just don't, and then it doesn't inflame the conflict. It doesn't make it worse. Okay, so yeah, a really good quality. Patience, one of the characteristics of God's teachers. Just sum it up with a key message. Read that, and we'll go into the lesson.
Teacher of perfect love, patience arises naturally from my trust in my certain awakening from the dream of separation. I cannot fear any outcome because I am sure of the ultimate interpretation of all events in time. And so by letting go, I work diligently and patiently every day towards my one goal of awakening at a time that is still unknown to me.
Okay, so yeah, thoughts on that?
Just about patience, the teacher of perfect love and patience will arise naturally. And it's to do with having no fear over any outcome. And by letting go, we work diligently and patiently every day towards the one goal of awakening, which is in a time that is unknown to us. That's not our goal, it'll just happen in its own natural way.
Yeah, just every day, every day, just keep working at it, keep learning your lessons, and those lessons are the miracles that take you home. Doesn't seem like it. Just another day. Okay, well, you have a situation or situations arise, but if you dealt with them correctly, then you found peace. There was an element of letting go involved. You found peace, and that's what it's all about. The more you find that peace, the more you go home. So what I like about this course is it's saying just gradually, slowly, just be patient, diligently work like you would at any other skill. People don't become masters at anything, whether it's something like a musical instrument, a concert pianist, or a top sportsman, or a great artist, or singer, dancer. All of these kinds of activities take a lot of time and practice. You work patiently at it. No one did it overnight. No one did it in 1 week, even 1 month. They did it over years of constant practice, patiently learning the skills, mastering them, getting better, testing them out, maybe having some disappointments, learning from those until they become a master of their craft. So similarly, we can work diligently and patiently at this one skill, the one essential skill in life that almost no one tells you about, is letting go. That's what you have to really get good at. So you can work at it, you can practice it daily, and life gives you the opportunities to do that. So you must welcome those. And that takes you towards your goal of awakening at a time that's still unknown. When the end outcome comes, you don't know, but you just focus on the process. Focus on being in the moment, focus on the process. And if you do that, you're doing what you need to do to get to the end goal without really focusing on the end goal. It's just really being in the now, being in the flow of now, and letting go as things arise. And that attitude is what we'd call patience, to summarize it. Just patiently going about your business, learning your lessons, staying in flow, and by doing that, you are automatically awakening. You're automatically going to your ultimate goal, which is to escape from time and space and wake up to the eternal self that you really are. Okay. Yeah, so any other thoughts or questions on patience?
Yeah, work in progress for me, yeah. Good lesson.
Okay.
Yep,
Good.
good.
So, very, very short section. The others, I hope you've been reading. They're just 1 or 2 paragraphs, but I've split them into single one rather than all in one go, because I think each one deserves its own day. Okay, so these are important qualities of a teacher of God or perfect love, and so contemplate it. It's 1 paragraph, but it points you to a quality. What I do every day is when I do my meditation, I bring up these qualities in my mind. It's okay, so I'm patient, and I claim it as my own. If you recall in the Arts of Letting Go course, we did your values. So you can take these as your values and say, okay, this is what I value. This is how I choose to live my life, and this is practically how I apply these teachings in the world through these qualities or character traits, which then profoundly influence my thoughts, my emotions, my words, my actions, and really change my whole life. So it's where the rubber meets the road of this higher awareness. Okay, you've got higher awareness, and it's just perfect and holy and sinless, and you can just kind of bliss out in that if you just sit in that. But the idea is that it's guiding you through your life, and these qualities, by adopting them, by cultivating them, by strengthening them through contemplation, reflection, and action. You've got to act on these things. It's no good saying I'm patient and then you just keep being impatient. Situations arise and you get impatient. That's not acting on it. And you can't say I'm patient. So it's about Yes, you set the intention, you say, I am this, you claim it, and then you act on it. And the more you act on it, the more it becomes part of yourself. And you're starting to transform the limited, negative, impatient self to the expansive, open, and very patient one, situation by situation. And these qualities start to become your own, you adopt them, and this is how you develop what's called character in the world. So a person of character has these kinds of qualities: generosity, courage, and so on. The qualities that are discussed in this section 4. What are the characteristics of God's teachers? Okay. So let's go to lesson 285. And do the lesson. Okay, so I'll read the original, you read the alternative. My holiness shines bright and clear today.
My pure formless awareness is bright and clear today.
So we translate holiness as pure formless awareness. Instead of shines, just saying is, because your awareness simply is. Shines, I understand the metaphor. It's like this. If you really go into that awareness, it can feel like a kind of a shining. It can feel like quite intense. So that's the word points to that. But I just chose is because it is your awareness. It is bright and clear. Okay, so today I awake with joy, expecting but the happy things of God come to me.
Today I wake with joy, expecting only the happy experiences of perfect love to come to me.
I ask but them to come and realize my invitation will be answered by the thoughts to which it has been sent by me.
I ask only them to come and realize my invitation will be answered by the thoughts to which it has been sent by me.
And I will ask for only joy the instant I accept my holiness.
And I will ask for only joyful experiences the moment I accept my pure formless awareness.
For what would be the use of pain to me? What purpose would my suffering fulfill? And how would grief and loss avail me if insanity departs from me today and I accept my holiness instead?
For what use is pain to me? What purpose does my suffering serve? And how can grief and loss be of any use to me if insanity leaves me today and I accept my pure formless awareness instead? From the top, today I wake with joy, expecting only the happy experiences of perfect love to come to me. I ask only them to come and realize my invitation will be answered by the thoughts to which it has been sent by me. And I will ask for only joyful experiences the moment I accept my pure formless awareness. For what use is pain to me? What purpose does my suffering serve? And how can grief and loss be of any use to me if insanity leaves me today and I accept my pure formless awareness instead? So it's just saying today we accept this joy and happy experience of being in the perfect love and realize the invitation will be answered and the thoughts that are needed will come to me. And we only ask for the joyful experiences once we accept in the moment, we accept the pure formless awareness. So there's no use to the pain anymore. The purpose does my suffering serve? What does it serve? So it's just saying, how can grief and loss be any use to us? It's insanity leaves us today, and we accept this state of pure formless awareness instead.
Why would we need pain when we can have pure formless awareness of perfect love? So invite only the happy experiences. Very much along the lines of the lyrics. Let go of all the tears, all the pain, the grievances, and access this true awareness, which is always happy and peaceful and loving and joyful. So then just a short prayer. Father, my holiness is yours.
My pure formless awareness is yours.
Let me rejoice in it, and through forgiveness be restored to sanity.
Let me rejoice in it, and through letting go, be restored to sanity.
Your Son is still as you created him.
Your extension is still as you extend it.
My holiness is part of me and also part of you.
My pure formless awareness is part of me and also part of you.
And what can alter holiness itself?
And what can change pure formless awareness of perfect love itself? And from the top, my source, my pure formless awareness is yours. Let me rejoice in it, and through letting go, be restored to sanity. Your extension is still as you extend it. My pure formless awareness is part of me and also part of you. And what can change pure formless awareness of perfect love itself? So it's just asking us to rejoice in our being in the source of pure formless awareness, just through letting go and restoring sanity. And so, and it's saying that it's part of me and part of you, and yeah. And what can change in pure formless awareness of perfect love? Constant.
Yeah, it's the one constant. That awareness is fundamental awareness. It's the one thing that cannot change. Without that awareness, there would be no life, there would be no consciousness, there would be no world. Nothing could exist without that awareness. It's absolutely fundamental, and you can't go beyond that awareness. The idea of this fundamental awareness is you can't go further. You end up at that awareness, and then it stops. There's nowhere else to go. When you get there, then that's God. That's the ultimate, infinite, eternal source of being that you've now connected with and have direct experience of in and through that awareness. So it's really, really simple. This isn't that difficult a teaching to understand. It's just to stay in that awareness. In a world that's designed to cover over that awareness is the challenge. The world's designed to trigger all kinds of thoughts and emotions that seem to deny that awareness. That's its whole purpose. And from the ego's point of view, your job is to let that go and find your true awareness. Rather, find pure formless awareness of perfect love in any situation, no matter what the triggers are. And if you do that, you consistently do that, you return your mind to that awareness. It's fairly simple. The process is simple, straightforward, understandable. It's just doing it, which you do day by day, moment by moment, actually, by applying these lessons. The idea of your daily lessons. Use this to correct your mind, restore you back to this awareness, no matter what seems to happen today. Okay. So any other thoughts on this? This isn't complicated, just lovely pointers really. These lessons in part two are short and sweet, and they point us to the actual experience of this awareness. Let's uh, let's do that now. If you've got another 15 minutes, we can do a meditation
Yeah.
on this to end the session. Okay? So sitting comfortably in your favorite meditation posture, your feet shoulder width apart, keep your back straight. Cup your hands in your lap, you close your eyes. And just start off by taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. So you're breathing in, you're noticing how the stomach rises and subtle flow of air in through the nostrils. And you pause at the top of the inhale. Scan your mind. And noticing how the energy rises up your spine as you breathe in. Clench your sphincter muscle, the muscle used to contract the flow of urine or squeeze the last drops out. That locks the energy in. It's the root lock in yoga, it's called. And maybe feel this warm, tingling feeling running up your spine, into your chest, to your upper back. Put one hand on your heart to connect with your heart space. And the sip of air and draw the energy all the way up into the crown of your head. Maximal inhale breath. You just pause, hold the breath briefly. Scan your mind. Noticing thoughts, emotions, related body sensations going on for you. Particularly anything that feels negative, limiting, contracted or constricting. You just observe it. Breathe into it. Create some space, some awareness around it with your breath. Remind yourself that my holiness shines bright and clear today. If you prefer the alternative terminology, my pure formless awareness is bright and clear today. So breathe this awareness into every pore and every cell. Every muscle, every part of your mind, every fiber of your being is infused with this awareness. Go into this awareness. Allow your mind to go there. As you listen to these words, today I wake joy, says Yeshua, expecting only the happy experiences of perfect love to come to me. So repeat these statements to yourself in the first person, aloud if you want. You can say them as affirmations, aloud or just silently to yourself. Today, I wake with joy and expect only the happy experiences of perfect love to come to me. And I embrace those experiences, I breathe them in. I ask for only them to come and realize my invitation be answered by the thoughts to which it has been sent by me. Breathe in again. And just breathe in the joy that this lesson points to. So I'll ask only for joyful experiences the moment I accept my pure formless awareness. pain to me? Purpose does my suffering serve, and how can grief and loss be of any use to me? Insanity leaves me today, and I accept my pure formless awareness instead. Hi Kim, just doing a meditation, so
Oh, sorry.
join in. So ask yourself the question, what use is pain? And look at any thoughts, any emotions that seem to be painful, seem to hurt you. So what purpose does my suffering serve? How can grief and loss be of any use to me? Insanity leads me to that and accept my pure formless awareness instead. So just exhale, just blowing these away with the breeze of your breath to the nothingness they really are. Whatever those thoughts and emotions are, dark clouds, black smoke, just let them go, release them. Let's find a sense of peace in this pure formless awareness. Rest in God is, of course, states in lesson 109, I rest in God. I rest in this state of pure formless awareness. So breathing in again, just listen to these words. You can repeat them in your own mind or aloud. If you like saying them aloud as affirmations, that works for you. You can do that. So my source, my pure formless awareness is yours. And just breathe that awareness in to every pore, every cell, every muscle of your body, every part of your mind, every fiber of your being. Let me rejoice in it, and through letting go, be restored to sanity. Your extension is still as you extend it. My pure formless awareness is part of me and also part of you. So just embrace that, breathe it in. Ask yourself, what can change pure formless awareness or perfect love itself? What can change this fundamental awareness? And then rest in the answer. The answer will come to you, not in words probably, but just as an experience. Experience of deep peace. So rest in the state of pure formless awareness, perfect love. There's nowhere else to go, there's nothing else to do, there's nothing else to think about. Just breathe, relax, be still. If any thoughts come up, seem to deny this pure formless awareness, just observe them. Breathe in and watch the thoughts, watch the emotions. Be aware of them, doing their thing, running around your mind, maybe causing some physical sensations, sense of contraction in your body, your mind. Just remind yourself, my holiness or pure formless awareness is bright and clear today, right now. Breathe it into every pore, every cell, every muscle of your body, every part of your mind, every fiber of your being. Imagine that it's light, if that helps you. It could be a golden or white light flowing every pore, every cell, every muscle, every part of your mind, every fiber of your being. Exhale, just release. Just letting go. And resting in this pure awareness. Nothing else to do, nowhere else to go, nothing else to think about. Just breathe, relax. Be still and allow yourself to experience the bliss of this pure formless awareness, which is your holiness, right now for the next couple of minutes of deep silence. So just gently coming back now from this deep connected state of awareness. It's an awareness of your body and the breath, senses and the world. And on the count of 3, you're going to open your eyes. So 1, just breathing in, noticing how the stomach rises and the chest rises. Subtle flow of air in through the nostrils. And you pause at the top of the inhale, remind yourself today's lesson again. My holiness or my pure formless awareness is bright and clear today. And just connect with that awareness, resolve to stay in this awareness for the rest of the session and the evening. So it is said and so it is done. Exhale on the count of 2, notice how the air flows out. Your mouth, the chest and the stomach suck back in. Feel the weight of your body pressing down into the chair, your feet touching the ground. Notice what you're feeling with your hands touching. Maybe there's a subtle taste in your mouth, smell in your nose. Notice what you're hearing in the surrounding environment. Just noticing all these things from this very still, calm and surrendered state. State of mind. Without illusions, only the truth is true. So notice what you're hearing, touching, tasting, feeling, smelling. From the state of pure awareness, that's this underlying awareness, even though the sense perceptions are kind of covering that over, filtering through it, maybe is a better word. You're aware of this holiness, this pure formless awareness. It's like a vast, expansive, spacious awareness in which all of this sort of happens, it arises and then it disappears. But this awareness remains, it's permanent, it's eternal, it's unchanging. So once again, connect with this awareness, invite it in to your mind and your life as your own awareness. It's the awareness you choose to be in. Because it is always peaceful, happy, calm, expansive, wise, patient. All the characteristics of God's teachers we've been studying are all included in this awareness. This awareness inspires them all. It's the source of all of them. So just accept it as yours. So my pure formless awareness is bright and clear today. One more time. So it is said, so it is done. Now on the count of 3, you're going to open your eyes. So just take a minute to look around, noticing various objects in the room around you. In this very still, calm, surrendered state. Nothing really matters, it's just kind of there, it sits in the same field of pure awareness. And you don't need to judge it, label it, interpret it, ego wants you to do is contract your being, your awareness down onto one or more of these objects and limit yourself in that way. There's this expansive awareness. These things go on, you still have sense perceptions, so you look around the room, notice walls and chairs and furniture and maybe people and whatever else, but the awareness remains untouched by any of it. Just unchanging, perfect awareness, pure formless awareness, or holiness. Translate holiness as pure formless awareness. It's that awareness that is yours, that is bright and clear today and every moment. You can't actually be without this awareness because it is your fundamental awareness, it's your fundamental nature, without which you would have no existence. You start to access that, to be aware of it, then we call that awakening in this world. Actually, it's the most natural thing you can do, just coming home to your own awareness finally after being lost in a false awareness for decades, lifetimes, millennia, lifetime after lifetime, just living in a state of false awareness. And suddenly you awaken to the true awareness that you are. It is amazing, it's revelatory, it's inspiring, it's impactful, it's joyful, it's all of these things. Peaceful, happy, loving, joyful, all these things come from this awareness. So just rest awareness for the rest of the session and the evening. So observing everything coming in to this awareness. It goes out, things come in, they arise and then they pass away, but without any emphasis on them, and the awareness remains. Try and just rest in this awareness for the rest of today's session in the evening. Okay, so I think that brings us to the end of the session on the lesson. So
Yeah, I couldn't join
hi,
earlier.
it's Kim. Hi, Kim. Yeah, that's okay. No problem. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. You?
Yeah, good. So,
Did you finish? Sorry, you probably
anything to
finished
share?
everything. Did you finish everything for today?
Eh?
Did you finish everything for today?
Yeah. Well, it's we've not quite, so we can do a session on what is the Holy Spirit, because we didn't do that today. We
Okay.
can that's one of the inserts. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we can do that, and the lesson is very short, so we can do that and read the lesson. Yeah, anything you want to share, just bear in mind we're being recorded, so we're in the session now.
Yeah.
Or should we just go into what is the Holy Spirit?
Yeah, nothing major to share right now. It's just, I guess it's just distractions of the the world today.
Mm,
I think because it's like Black Friday, you various
mm,
distractions, work stuff coming up. But yeah, it's fine. I
mm,
won't share about that now. Mm.
mm, mm. Yeah, well, that's the nature of it. Things come up, and then you just let them. This teaching just says just let them go, let them pass away. They arise and they
Yeah,
pass away quickly, and you remain in this peaceful awareness as much as possible. You'll get these temptations, things arise, but if you can let them go quickly, then you minimize your suffering. If you hold on to them, then you just prolong the pain. So as long as you're aware of them and okay, I know what I need to do with this. I need to look at it and I need to let it go. quickly as possible, then you're practicing the course. So it's actually quite simple. It's not rocket science. It's not anything actually terribly extraordinary. It just requires a diligent practice. You need to really look at it, constantly be vigilant, constantly look at whatever's arising, and then be willing to let it go without accepting. That's the practice. Okay, so yeah, shall we jump into? We didn't do the what is the Holy Spirit. We didn't have time for that. So this is the insert. Let's go back to here. Just share my screen with you.
You did the text, right? Well, not the text, the manual for teachers.
Yeah, we did the manual for teachers. Yeah, which is just one paragraph. Maybe we can look at because there's many sections. But let's do what is the Holy Spirit first, and we'll do the lesson. See how we go. Okay, so share screen. What is the Holy Spirit? Which an insert before these 10 lessons we're busy with. The idea is to read this every day before each lesson. This is a short, just help your mind to get in tune with this presence we call the Holy Spirit. So it is. So I'll read it in the original, sentence by sentence, then you read it in the alternative. Okay, so the Holy Spirit. What is the Holy Spirit? I'm going to read it in the original, you read it in the alternative.
Okay.
So what is the Holy Spirit? Question. In answer to that, Yeshua says, the Holy Spirit mediates between illusions and the truth.
The Holy Spirit is the remembrance of perfect love or oneness that meditates between illusions and the truth.
Mediates
between illusions and the truth.
Mediates. Since he must bridge the gap between reality and dreams, perception leads to knowledge through the grace that God has given him to be his gift to everyone who turns to him for truth.
Since it must bridge the gap between reality and dreams, perception leads to knowledge through the grace that pure formless awareness of perfect love has given it to be its gift to everyone who turns to it for the truth.
Across the bridge that he provides, our dreams all carry truth to be dispelled before the light of knowledge.
My dreams are all carried to the truth across the bridge that it provides, where they are dispelled before pure formless awareness that is knowledge.
There are sights and sounds forever laid aside.
In this state, I have let go of sights and sounds forever.
And where they were perceived before, forgiveness has made possible perception's tranquil end.
And where I perceived them before, letting go has made possible perception's tranquil end.
Okay,
The Holy
and then,
Spirit.
just read it from the top.
Okay. Holy Spirit is the remembrance of perfect love or oneness that mediates between illusions and the truth. Since it must bridge the gap between reality and dreams, perception leads to knowledge through the grace that pure formless awareness of perfect love has given it to be its gift to everyone who turns to it for truth. My dreams are all carried to the truth across the bridge that it provides, where they are dispelled before the pure formless awareness that is knowledge. In this state, I have let go of sights and sounds forever. And where I perceived them before, letting go has made possible perception's tranquil end.
Okay, so thoughts on that? What's he saying here in summary?
The Holy Spirit is the bridge that is between perception and knowledge. Knowledge is the pure formless awareness of perfect love. But as we are in the illusion of perception, the Holy Spirit is there to be that bridge to knowledge, because we haven't attained that knowledge. So it helps us to let go of the perception, so we can reach.
Yeah, it's more of a process. You know, the Holy Spirit is this. The Holy Spirit is this process of. Let's just find it. Oh, there we go. It's the process of transformation, changing your mind, changing your perception from the separate self, limited, contracted, focused on what the separate self can get, desire and fear. Holy Spirit is the process of changing your mind, so that you start identifying more and more with this truth, with a much of awakened self, an awareness that knows that you are not this little self, that you're not your fears and desires and senses in this world, and that changes your mind. So that true self is the self that now perceives correctly, and the Holy Spirit is the mechanism of that perception. It's almost the process of that change of mind, of that correction of perception, which we call many things: true perception, or Christ's miracles, or corrections, forgiveness, letting go, surrender, acceptance, salvation, at-one-ment, enlightenment, awakening, healing, transformation. And you could go on. There's probably half a dozen other names for it, called the thought adjuster in the Urantia book. Intuition. These are different names for it. Maybe I should add that in, actually. Intuition is another name for this presence within us. There's something, an awareness in us that allows this transformation to happen, and that bridges the gap. So it is literally that's why the arrows are here. It's literally the bridge between this world of illusion and going into the truth. But you need to go via true self, or the Christ. So the idea of the Holy Spirit and the Christ, the Holy Trinity, is that they are a bridge back. They're a mechanism of systematically transforming your mind, changing your mind in a way that's doable, to eventually get to pure formless awareness of perfect love, because you're not just going to do that overnight. There's a process to it, and this Trinity system is really an operating system that guides you in that process to eventually, Escher just says God takes the final step, meaning awareness, and you become one with it, and then there's no need for a true self anymore. There's no need for the Holy Spirit that perceives correctly. The world disappears. The Holy Spirit and the Christ, or true self, collapse into the oneness of God. So they are not eternal. They are temporary of the construct of this world, but they lead you out of this world. They're the only illusions that ultimately undo all other illusions. They lead you out of this world, not cause you to stay locked in the prison of your own mind in this world. which is why they're very useful and essential. You need an operating system to operate while you're awakening in this world, and the Holy Trinity is that operating system.
The Holy Trinity, John?
Kim,
The
does
Holy
that make
Trinity
sense?
is the operating system.
Yeah,
The whole thing that you're
yeah,
showing me,
as a
what was the Holy Spirit?
yeah, as a system for your life, and it's actually a very sophisticated psychological system for managing your life. This theory isn't by psychologists, by theologians. They don't really understand what the Holy Trinity is. You read Christian theologians, and they try and make and the Holy Spirit into some kind of real entities that are equivalent with God, but then they struggle with, well, God's supposed to be, now you've got this triune God. How does it really work? You have to understand the metaphysics behind it. That okay, this world's and in the illusion, these constructs. Yeah, the true self is still a concept, but it's the highest self concept you can have in the world, and it's useful while you're here because the self can perceive and make decisions, and the self can act and speak and act. So kind of very useful while you're still operating in the world.
Mm.
Once you get from it's useless. You don't need that self-concept anymore. You don't need the process of letting go of the Holy Spirit awakening you because you're already awake in this awareness. So they just they serve their purpose, and then they done, and they and they're no more once you fully in pure formless awareness of perfect love. There's no need for them, so they're not useful anymore. And that's the easiest way to understand them and the most helpful as a temporary operating system for your life while you are, which leads ultimately out of the dream, and you don't need them anymore. But like, if you go on a journey, well, let's say you're crossing a chasm, to use this analogy of the bridge. You've got to cross. You need the bridge while you're crossing. It's essential. Without a bridge, you don't get across. But once you're on the other side and you're not going back, then the bridge is useless. You decide to remain on the other side for the rest of your life. The bridge becomes redundant to you. It's irrelevant, and you don't need it.
Right.
Same idea.
Yeah.
Another analogy: if you're on a journey, you're somewhere, you need your sat nav directions, or you need the signposts
Yeah.
on the road or the map. You need the
Yeah.
directions to get there. But once you're there, the directions are pointless. You don't need them anymore. You can shut down your sat nav. You can close your map book. You don't need it anymore because you've.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go on then, shall we, to number 2, paragraph 2. So the goal the Holy Spirit's teaching sets is just this end of dreams.
The goal, the remembrance of perfect love teaching sets, is just the end of dreams.
For sights and sounds must be translated witnesses of fear to those of love.
For sights and sounds must be translated from the witnesses of fear to those of love.
And when entirely accomplished, learning has achieved the only goal it has in truth.
And when it has helped me to accomplish this fully, learning will have achieved the only goal it has in truth.
For learning, as the Holy Spirit guides it to the outcome he perceives for it, becomes the means to go beyond itself, to be replaced by the eternal truth.
For learning, as the remembrance of perfect love guides it to the outcome, perceives for it, becomes the means to go beyond itself, to be replaced by the eternal truth.
Okay,
The goal, the
read
remembrance.
it from the top in the alternative.
Okay. The goal, the remembrance of perfect love's teaching, sorry, let me start again. The goal, the remembrance of perfect love's teaching is just this end of dreams, for it must translate sights and sounds from the witnesses of fear to those of love. And when it has helped me to accomplish this fully, learning will have achieved the only goal it has in truth. For learning, as the remembrance of perfect love, guides it to the outcome it perceives for it, becomes the means to go beyond itself, to be replaced by the eternal truth. So I think it's describing what in terms of the bridge to get from the illusion to, or perception to knowledge. It's the process of the learning, where it translates or changes allows for the change of your perception to that of fear to that of loved. And once it's accomplished this fully, the learning is no longer required because you've attained the outcome, which is the eternal truth or knowledge.
Yeah, exactly what I've been saying. You get to the destination. You don't need anything for the journey. You don't need the directions, the guide. You don't need the vehicle. So think of it this way. I mean, it's quite a good way is the directions. You know, the guidance on the journey, the signposts, and the true self is the driver of the car. It's not driving you, to your destination. It's another way of thinking about it. When you arrive at your destination, then they're not needed anymore. You don't need to drive the car. You don't need directions anymore. The true self and the Holy Spirit, remembrance of perfect love, have done their job, and they've brought you home. And that's their only job. Not to be replacements for God in this world. Their job is to take you home entirely and take you out of this world. And when they've done that, then their job is, and then needed, so they will just disappear, because they're just aspects of your true awareness that help you in this world. It's like a transformer mechanism. You think of electricity. It's another analogy. So a very high voltage electricity would be equivalent in this analogy to this pure formless awareness of perfect love, like high voltage. So that voltage is going to blow the circuits in your house. If you stuck that voltage straight into your household appliances, everything would just. So you need to step it down, and you need to transform it into a useful form. And that's what this operating system itself and the Holy Spirit do. They take this pure formless awareness, extremely high frequency awareness, and they step it down into perception. How does this now apply in this perceptual situation? How does oneness apply in this perception of mine? And that when you apply the oneness, it helps you let go of separation, transforms your perception, changes your words, changes your actions, and now you flow forward in the dream in a very different way. This timeline shows it quite well. You now flow forward because you've been into this. You get the guidance, which then is the download. That's why it's a double arrow, and it gives you guidance as to how to now deal with this situation that you're dealing with. Maybe a trauma, like a sickness, like a heart attack or something like that, or a loss of a job, or even a success like the business for millions. That also requires some awareness to navigate. So the Holy Spirit gives you this very guidance as to how to perceive it, and then from your perception come your words, your actions, your decisions. And so you flow forward now, timeline, from birth to death, but now you're guided by this eternal awareness. And the Holy Spirit is like the step down. It's how I practically apply the guidance, apply this awareness in the world. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Okay, great. Happy to go on to number 3. So, if you but knew Father yearns to recognize your sinlessness, you would not let his voice appeal in vain, nor turn away from his replacement for the images and dreams you made.
If only I knew how much my source wants me to recognize my innocence, I would not let its voice appeal in vain, nor turn away from its replacement for the fearful images and dreams I made.
The Holy Spirit understands the means you made by which you would attain what is forever unattainable.
The remembrance of perfect love understands the means I made by which I try to attain what is forever unattainable.
And if you offer them to him, he will employ the means you made for exile to restore your mind to where it truly is at home.
And if I offer them to it, it will employ the means I made for exile to restore my awareness to where it is truly at home. Okay, from the top. If only I knew how much my source wants me to recognize my innocence, I would not let its voice appeal in vain, nor turn away from its replacement for the fearful images and dreams I made. The remembrance of perfect love understands the means I made by which I try to attain what is forever unattainable. And if I offer them to it, it will employ the means I made for exile to restore my awareness to where it is truly at home. Let's say our source or God or the
Okay?
formless awareness of perfect love is wants us to recognize our innocence or our sinlessness, our true self, like our true self. So I guess being aware of this, we don't want to reject this and reject the replacement of the illusion or fear. So the Holy Spirit or remembrance of perfect love understands what we've done, what I've done to try and attain unattainable, which is that illusion or chasing or desire. But if we employ the means or give the attention to restore our awareness like we have to chase that illusion, it will help us to return to home or to oneness.
Yeah. So the memory of perfect love just leads us back to the state of perfect loving awareness. It's completely logical. If you do the translations from the traditional terminology, yeah, you remember perfect love. If you follow that remembrance, that memory, it's going to lead you back to the state of perfect love that you remember. Kind of pretty simple, isn't it? So this isn't rocket science. But it's obscured by the terminology. You know, often the traditional terminology of Christ and Holy Spirit don't make that clear at all, which is why most Christians don't understand the Holy Trinity at all. Yeah. Do you have a question?
Yeah, when it says the remembrance of perfect love understands the means are made by which I try to attain what is forever unattainable. So it understands that we are in this illusion and trying to chase something that's unattainable. Is that what it's saying?
Yeah. So we
Which
made up the world. We're trying to find happiness and kind of satisfaction, peace, contentment. We're trying to find what we've lost, essentially, which is our true awareness. And we're trying to find it here. And of course, we'll never succeed because it doesn't lie in the world; it lies within. So there's a sense of having lost something. The scarcity, the loss, the lack, the limitation. That's all part of the thought system of the ego, and then we seek to find what we think we're in the world. And the ego says, "Well, go find something in the world that's going to fill that hole within you," and that can be any number of forms: special relationships, money, possessions, jobs, work, substances, activities, and so on and on it goes. To try and find what actually you'll never find using those means. How you would attain what is forever unattainable. So I express it: seek and do not find. You'll never find the answer using the ego's thought system and following its directions. You'll just keep getting lost in the illusion, and every illusion with you time and time again, until the pain of that will help you awaken to realize, well, hang on, something else is going on here. I keep seeking and trying to find the happiness, and I just don't get it. I don't find it. So Rolling Stones song comes to mind. I can't get no satisfaction, and I try, and I try, and I try. And I mean that's describing the ego, isn't it? No matter how much I try, I can't ever be satisfied, because that's the way the ego set the game. So in a nutshell, that's what he means by which I try to attain what is forever unattainable. But if I offer those means to it, willing to let go of them, my attachment to these means, whatever that is, my relationships, my financial situation that I'm attached to, my job, my career, my work, my special relationships, essentially my whole life as a personal self in this world. So that's what we asked to let go of. Then it's going to help us use these means that I made for exile, the world that I live in, experiences that I have, as forgiveness lessons to restore my awareness to where it is truly at home. And so it's using now the world for a different purpose. The world is designed to help you let go of your ego rather than perpetuate and sustain it. Okay. So let's go on to number 4, can we?
Okay.
From knowledge, where he has been placed by God, the Holy Spirit calls to you to let forgiveness rest upon your dreams and peace of mind.
From knowledge, where it originates in pure formless awareness of perfect love, the remembrance of perfect love asks me to let go of my dreams and be restored to sanity and peace of mind without letting,
Without forgiveness, will your dreams remain terrify you?
Without letting go, my dreams will remain to terrify me.
And the memory of all your Father's love will not return to signify the end of dreams has come.
And the memory of all my source's love will not return to signify the end of dreams has come. From the top.
Okay.
From knowledge, where it originates in pure formless awareness of perfect love, the remembrance of perfect love asks me to let go of my dreams and be restored to sanity and peace of mind. Without letting go, my dreams will remain to terrify me, and the memory of all my source's love will not return to signify the end of dreams has come. So it's saying that the knowledge originates from God or fulfillment and awareness, the Holy Spirit or remembrance of perfect love draws us to forgive or let go. But then without letting go, we'll remain in the illusion or our dreams, which will terrify us. And the memory of our source will not then return to end our dreams and us being terrified. So best we forgive or let go, otherwise we're not going to get back to the truth of eternal love. We're going to be in this illusion of pain and suffering.
Yeah. So letting go is the mechanism of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the process, you could say, of letting go. The Holy Spirit inspires you to let go. It helps you go through this process of correcting your mind of false ideas, beliefs, and finding more peace. You start identifying more and more with this true self that is unchangeable as you forgive or let go. So it's the process of awakening to the knowledge of who you are through the memory of letting go. Very simply. That's how do you remember who you are? You let go of what you're not, and you do that systematically and progressively by letting go of your misperceptions as they arise in this world, because that's what you're not. Your misperceptions are then a reflection of your separate self that make that separately existent in your mind. So it's really, really simple. The more I go into this, I think this year especially, I'm teaching it, and it's just the simplicity is just so clear. It's so simple. There's really nothing much to it. It's just a process that you've got to go through. You've got to, understanding it. Okay, you got to understand it, because if you're totally lost in your separate self, then you have to start realizing this. Most people don't understand that it's so simple. That's a process of learning, growing, awakening to the simple truth. That can take years. It's taken, I suppose, my whole life, but about 18 years I've been busy with the course, particularly, and that is systematically and progressively just helped me to see the truth very clearly and simply. But it is simple. That enlightenment is really quite simple, straightforward. The process is straightforward. It's not some great mystery. So some teachings are like, well, it's all a mystery, and only a few special ones, the masters of yesteryear, like the Buddha and Yeshua, will really awaken. For the rest of us plebs, we just kind of do the best we can with a bit of meditation, a bit of mindfulness, and that kind of awakening is not attainable. When actually it's just an ongoing process and a practice that you're being asked to engage in. This is the way now you choose to live your life. From the perspective of the true self, you have true perception, you let go whatever disturbs your peace as and when it arises. That's really all you have to do. And if you do that, then you're going to awaken to your true self more and more, and eventually God takes the final step, meaning that you just merge back into this awareness. The true self leads you back into this awareness. It isn't much about that except it comes the final step. So this course is not about this step from the true self back to God or pure form of source. It's about changing your mind from the separate self and all its misperceptions to the true self with its correct perceptions. 99.9% about that. And then he just mentions this final step in Revelation. From time to time, it's like, okay, well, there's the end destination, but let's focus on the process. Let's focus on the journey, because you can actually do something about that. Okay, so diagram. Let's have a look at number 5, paragraph 5. It's just 5 short paragraphs. So, accept your father's gift.
I accept my source's
You read
gift.
an alternative. It is a call from love to love, that it be but itself.
It is a call from love to love, that it be only itself.
The Holy Spirit is a gift by which the quietness of heaven is restored to God's beloved Son.
The remembrance of perfect love is its gift by which the quietness of the state of pure formless awareness is restored to perfect love's beloved extension.
Would you refuse to take the function of completing God's worlds as that you be complete?
I refuse to take the function of completing pure formless awareness of perfect love when all its wills is that I be complete.
From the top in the alternative.
I accept my source's gift. It is a call from love to love, that it be only itself. The remembrance of perfect love is its gift by which the quietness of the state of pure formless awareness is restored to perfect love's beloved extension. Can I refuse to take the function of completing pure formless awareness of perfect love when all it wills is that I be complete? So I'm going to, so it's saying I accept the gift from God, which is love, or I accept my source's gift, which is basically restoring to pure formless awareness of perfect love by the help of the Holy Spirit, was its extension. So can I even refuse that? Because it just wills me to be one with pure formless awareness. Would I even why would I refuse that? Because that everything was described in the paragraphs above. With illusion comes the suffering.
Yeah.
So, like, why would I choose that? Or why would I refuse to go back to perfect love? What it's saying.
Yeah. Do I really want to do that? So it uses questions quite a lot in the course. So, you really want to do that? Do you really want to refuse? Can I really refuse to take the function of completing pure formless awareness of perfect love when all it wills is that I be? Am I really going to resist this? Insist that I'm going to maintain my separate state and be unhappy when this is the awareness of God, of perfect love itself, that I just accept its awareness back into my mind. And that awareness is the only thing that's going to make me happy. So, given that understanding, to refuse it is insane. It makes no sense at all. Even if your separate self disappears, which is what's going to happen. That's to be welcome. Because you don't disappear, you actually become who you really are. With no separate self, you become the singular awareness that you really are. Okay, so there's a short summary. We'll just read the narrated summary, summarize it. So read the first paragraph and then just pause, reflect on that.
Remembrance of perfect love bridges the gap between illusions and truth, guiding my dreams to the truth, where they are dispelled in the pure formless awareness of knowledge. It leads me beyond sights and sounds to the tranquil inner perception, where I will let go of my illusions forever. Its teaching aims to end all my dreams by transforming my fearful perceptions into the witnesses to love. So fearfulness awareness is the bridge to allow for us to move away from or let go of the dreams or perception and senses to transform to perfect love, be return to perfect love. And the Holy Spirit plays a role in being that bridge in my learning to do that.
Well, so it's the bridge, and it's shown in this diagram quite nicely. It leads you from this state of being in a separate world back over the bridge. It's symbolized by the blue arrows, to your true self, which is kind of a halfway state and a halfway across the chasm, and you start becoming more and more aware that there's this true, courageous, very helpful that is you, that's actually guiding you, guiding all of your perceptions, and from that, the more you identify, not a lot left to do. God takes the final step, and you just merge back into this awareness, and once that happens, you're on the other side, you've crossed the bridge, and the Holy Spirit's taking you home. Okay, number 2.
I think that's probably the why maybe people struggle to understand it, is that it's also a concept, but it's actually no, it's more about knowing the Holy Spirit. I mean, like, Donna, when did you feel like you actually, it's not just like a concept to you, it's actually, okay, guided by the Holy Spirit?
Yeah, well, it's sort of moment by moment. You start guidance, and you're saying, okay, so I've got this situation, show me. And then you get guidance, you get, thoughts that are held, you take actions, things happen sometimes, and you see that it, that was helpful and it worked out. And then you can't doubt, presence here that's guiding me. That's, where did that thought come from? Where did that guidance come from? And then you're doing a much more, a deeper connection with it as you use it. So it really needs to be used. Because it's a process. The Holy Spirit is this process of changing your mind. You need to use it and apply it in your daily life. It just lies dormant, using it. So as you start, I wouldn't say there was one day where I said, "What, that's kind of it." It's a process of starting to listen more and say, "Okay, in my decision making now, I ask for guidance. That's the first thing I do. Okay, so what should I do? Show me," and I'll do a meditation, and I'll open myself up, and I'll say, "Okay, I don't know right now, but it's okay. I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling quite happy and certain about this, because I know the guidance will come. I know that it's going to be okay." And then inevitably, in that state of mind, it is. I had a situation today, just dealing with my situation that I told you about, work and in my business, and I needed some guidance on something, and I got that guidance. Okay, so but when I went to bed, that I would get the guidance. So I did, and it was all fine, and you start to trust that more and more. The more you do it, the more you use it, like anything, you get better at it. The more you use it, the more it's okay, that this becomes familiar. It's a familiar pathway in your mind. When you start out on the spiritual path, you're not following guidance. You're following the ego's guidance. So it takes some adjustment and it takes some doing to start listening. And that's part of the process of awakening. Okay, so I hope that answers the question as best I can.
Thank you.
Say, to anyone listening to the live stream or recording, just practice. It's like anything. You don't get good at something overnight. Just keep practicing it. And life gives you the opportunity to practice. Situations that arise in your life are exactly meant for you to practice this thought system of the Holy Spirit and the true self working together. Practice it. And the more you practice it, the more you start to see, well, there's something here. This actually works. So then no one needs to do more of it because you see that it works and it's beneficial to you and others. So why wouldn't you do it? But to change your mind, the initial change of mind is obvious, because usually when we are asleep in the ego, we're very arrogant and we believe we're right and we don't want to listen to the Holy Spirit. So to start changing our mind usually requires pain. Pain then cracks that arrogant shell and makes you go, okay, I just want help, show me. And that's when the Holy Spirit listens. When you're on your knees, it doesn't. When you're like, I've got my life all sorted and it's all cool in the ego's illusion, and I'm very attached to my illusions of a separate self, and it's all going swimmingly. Well, okay, that might be the case for a while, but it's guaranteed not to last. That's never going to last, because everything's permanent. I once said that to someone at a talk, and she said, "Oh, charming." It's like, no, that's just the reality of it. It's not going to last. Of course it's not going to last. You're going to get older. Things change all the time. To think that it's going to last is delusional. It can't last because it's all temporary. So the Holy Spirit, you accept that impermanence in the world by accepting the permanent true nature that you are. And then it's okay. Well, it doesn't matter that nothing lasts in this world because I am eternal. So I'm eternal being, just observing all these changing phenomena in this world. But I don't have to be affected by them. I can just watch, observe. Forgiveness quietly sits and waits, is not, says the Course. It just sits in this higher awareness and doesn't judge all the goings on that the ego's created in the illusion. It doesn't judge that. Because that's the way out. Okay, so number 3, originating from knowledge.
Originating from knowledge.
You read number 2. Did we read number 2?
I'm not sure. I'll read number 2. When I fully achieve this with the guidance of the remembrance of perfect love, learning will have served its purpose and will be replaced by the eternal truth. My true awareness wants me to recognize my innocence. If I listen to its voice and let go of my fearful images and self-made means of exile, remembrance of perfect love will transform these into tools to restore my awareness to my true home in peace and sanity. Yeah, but like it's only saying what we were saying earlier. It's doing its job. As to
Yeah.
the tool is letting go.
But you have to invite it in. You have to listen. Yeah. You have to listen and be willing to say, okay, I'm willing to listen to the guidance. If it tells go of something, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to follow the guidance and do what it says, because otherwise it can't help me. But like being at a crossroads and you've got 2 guides, and the one guide is telling you to go one way, the other one's telling you to go the opposite direction. And the Holy Spirit is leading you home, But it can't help you if you choose not to listen to it and you follow the other guide. You're going to go in the opposite direction. It can only say, well, follow me because I'm the true guide. I'll lead you home. Where you're going is the most peaceful, joyful, blissful place you can imagine. It's beyond your imagination. But, okay, there might be some challenges on the journey, but we'll get through them together. The hero's journey isn't always easy, but okay, I'll be with you every step of the way. You never walk alone. Liverpool anthem. You never walk alone because the Holy Spirit is with you always. But you have to listen to it, to be willing to follow that guide and no other. Because you follow another guide, then you've got the ego, which just contradicts the Holy Spirit. The two thought systems never reconcile. So it's saying just take what you made, all the images you made, and transform them. Change your perception of them. And that's what the Holy Spirit does. So they're no longer fearful. They just see them as the illusion are, and all they're there for is for letting go. Let go of them. Let go of your attachment to them. Then you free yourself from your attachment to your separate self. And you then must awaken to your true self. And going back to the diagram, it's so simple. There's really, this is not a complex system. As Yeshua says, this is a very simple course. Because it is simple. It just doesn't seem to be simple to start with. Because we've got so many blocks to awareness of love's presence that we can't see clearly enough. Our vision is obscure. Practice, letting go, our vision gets clearer and clearer. And we start seeing more and more the truth. We see the simplicity of it and understand the process. So he's giving us, in this course, he's giving us the roadmap home. He's explaining how this whole operating system of the Holy Trinity works in a way that I haven't seen explained anywhere else. Which is really, really helpful. It's not explained in the Bible. It's not explained to theologians. They didn't really understand it. It's explained in this course that trains you how to operate the system, essentially. Course in Miracles is a course in learning how to operate the Holy Trinity as a system for awakening in your life.
Yeah.
We're just very, very grateful that we've got such detailed instructions that this master from 2 years ago has waited 2,000 years to write this course for us and given it to us in our time when it's useful. 500 years ago, the world wasn't ready for it. Now the world's ready for it. Now we have the capacity to understand it. We have like Zoom call and the internet and computers and so on that allow us to really, you can study this and you can get to grips with this, and it's available freely to everyone. And the course is 100% free. You can just get it on the internet. However, most people need a bit of help, a bit of guidance in interpreting it. Just reading it, a lot of people find difficulty. So, hence these kinds of tools, meditations, the breath breaks, these live sessions are there to diagrams and so on, just to help you understand it better. All right, so let's go on. Paragraph 3, originating from knowledge.
Originating from knowledge, the remembrance of perfect love continually asks me to let go of my dreams. If I cling to my illusions, they will continue to frighten me, and the memory of my source's love will remain obscure to me. Only by letting go can I return to the quietness and peace of the state of pure formless awareness. I accept my source's gift, call from love to love, restoring my completeness as perfect love's beloved extension. By fulfilling my function of completing pure formless awareness of perfect love, I align with its only will, which is that I recognize I am already complete in truth. I will not refuse this function, for it leads me home to completion. So it's saying, it's just explaining again.
Okay, so
You're holding on to your illusions. You're going to be frightened, you suffer. So once you let go, then you'll return to your formless awareness. So accept that. Will lead me home.
only by letting go. So forgiveness or letting go is the mechanism of the Holy Spirit operating in your life, and this whole thought system of the Holy Trinity actually working. It's where the rubber meets the road. So really all you have to do is one thing. To do the course, you just have to go. It's as simple as that. And then everything falls into place. If you don't fully understand, you start letting go and you start understanding more. As you let go, the understanding. The more you let go, the more you understand. The more you understand, the more it helps you to let go. As that iterative process that is what's being taught.
Yeah.
Really, really simple. It's not complex. It's not difficult teaching. He made it as simple as possible. There's not 10 things you have to do. There's one thing you have to do this course, and that's to forgive or let go of whatever negative thoughts and emotions arise moment by moment. When they get triggered, you're aware of them, you let them go. That's it. That's all you have to do. As he says, a very simple course. And then you start understanding the metaphysics more and more, and your vision starts clearing, and the confusion starts lifting, and you start going, oh, I get it. I understand, finally. I had a moment, you said, was there any moment where you just kind of, that's it, you knew the Holy Spirit? Well, I would say I'd been, did the Vipassana meditation for 9 days, Vipassana meditation retreat, and I went into this state of pure awareness for a little bit, just towards the end of the retreat day. I just lay down. Something he said, just let go of the practice, of sitting up, because I said you can't lie down, just sit. So I just lay down on my bed, and it just went into this incredible state, just pure awareness. I wasn't asleep, but it was just pristine, innocent, pure. Suddenly, in that awareness, I wasn't thinking. Right? There was no like, oh, now I'm in this awareness and I'm aware. No, it was just pure awareness. Just was. And I don't know how long I was in that for. I don't think it was very long. Maybe as short as 30 seconds. I don't know. It could have been a minute. Could have been 5 minutes. I don't know. There's no sense of time. But then something changed, and I kind of came out of it, and I kind of became self-aware again. But then it was like whoosh, I just downloaded so much. It was just like, oh, suddenly I'm just like downloading direct from that source of true awareness, and I then understood. Suddenly it was like the concepts like the illusion and the veil. I get it. It's just like everything else is just a veil. All the thoughts and emotions that are normal, the egos, just cover over that awareness. They're just a veil that cover over that awareness. That's why they're called the veil of illusion. And I've just made all that up. And I've made up the world to trigger those thoughts and emotions to create that veil over this awareness. And that's all I've done. And I realized I'd done it, no one else had done it. So now all of those insights are really the Holy Spirit. The true self and the Holy Spirit awakening and going, okay, now you're back in the domain of perception, but you're going to interpret it because of that awareness of that pure awareness. So exactly this kind of process, going in awareness, and I did for a moment. It was a revelation experience, and then coming back into now looking at time and space differently and changing your mind, changing your perception of everything. If you look at it this way, I went briefly into this awareness, I experienced a massive download, of information and understanding. Like it was just like, whoa, that was intense. It's a bit like the Matrix, you know, like you just get uploaded, stuff gets uploaded, and it's like, whoa. It was a bit like that, and so I suppose that was my most kind of visceral, intense spirit. Like, okay, suddenly you're understanding the dream in a very different way, in a profoundly different way, because of this experience of pure awareness. And so it was almost a direct experiential knowledge, understanding of what these diagrams explain. You go there, you stay there for a bit. It's totally transcendent if you're really there, and then you come back, and the Holy Spirit mechanism of now taking this awareness and using it to understand your dream better, and give you insight and understanding in the dream world. That is profound wisdom that's really helpful. But it's just like a step down from this awareness. It just translates this awareness into something that's useful and practical in this world. And as you know, as a result of that experience, really, this whole course I was planning to run it anyway. As you know, it was a course you did, the Art Letting Go course. But I ran it differently because of that experience. It really profoundly changed my own understanding. And suddenly I was like, okay, I get it. You know, all of it, instead of just being a concept and a theory, it made complete sense. It was like, oh, I get it, because I've actually had that experience, and I've experienced what the words are describing, what the diagrams are talking. Like actually, you know, experientially get it, understand it. Even that little glimpse, the whole experience maybe lasted 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I don't know. It wasn't very long, but it was, you know, very intense. It was a very intense learning. I'll never forget that experience. It was probably the most intense 20 minutes of my life in terms of learning. It was just like suddenly I'm just downloading, and I'm saving, what the course would say, 1,000 years in that 20 minutes, because I'm just getting it finally, you know, breaking through into another level of understanding. And you know, that's what spiritual practice you do. I was wrong for that experience because I'd done 9 days of intensive meditation. If I hadn't done the 9-day retreat, it probably wouldn't have happened. So, you know, the spiritual practices are just help you to awaken. You know, in an accident, said one Zen master, but spiritual practices make you accident prone. So I was in an accident prone state at that point because of discipline work I'd done 9 days, and I'd had to make a decision. I won't go into that. But to get there, I'd had to make a decision to let go of a worldly attachment just to get a retreat. So there was that leading up to it. So the whole experience was designed for my awakening. You know, all of it, the lead up, and I had a situation where someone was stealing money, but I had to let go of that. And then you go, well, it's all happened for me. It was all for the highest good. And even the was all part of that process of awakening. So it's not, you know, it wasn't bad. It was all necessary. And then, you know, you can't hold grievances anymore. You just can be grateful for the process. So I think that moment was when I'd had this sort of experience, and then I'm just downloading. That was like, okay, I'm kind of getting what the Holy Spirit is now. It's this understanding, this translate. It's the bridge. It's the translator of that awareness that I'd experienced into now perception. I could now understand the world in a very different way because of that awareness that I'd experienced. So it was a kind of direct experiential demonstration, understanding of what the Holy and what it does and how helpful it is, which, you know, I would say life-changing. I haven't been the same since. And then the course started literally a week later. Only a few days later. It started like 4 days later. And you know, then the community group around it, and it was all obviously part of the plan, which I hadn't made. I was just kind of going with what I felt I had to do. The Holy Spirit said, go to the Vipassana retreat. So I did. And then you just follow the next step and the next step and the next step, and just keep doing that. And your awakening unfolds, and that's the Holy Spirit in action.
Yeah.
It's your guide in life. It's essential, because what's going to guide you on your path, what's going to do the maze of complexity that this world is, all these different things and factors in your life and experiences and challenges and uncertainties. Well, how do you know what to do? That's the question. Everyone's looking for some kind of certainty, and in time there is no certainty. You don't know, that the outcome's uncertain, except if you're in the Holy Spirit, you know the ultimate outcome is certain, because you're going back home. You're going to go back into this awareness, which is permanent and eternal. So with that outcome in mind, it's okay. And then experience has just become the means for that final outcome to eventually come about. And the Holy Spirit leads you back to this awareness systematically through your experiences in this world, in this pretty miraculous way. You can't really explain it. It's beyond the ego's logic, that's for sure. The ego can't explain it. You can't understand it. It just, you just surrender and you go, well, I just go with it. It's there. I just got to use it. I don't really have to understand how it works. Just be open to it. I was reflecting on, how do we speak? I'm speaking now. I'm not really thinking about speaking. It's just happening. How does that happen? Have you ever wondered, how does it happen? It just happens. You speak and ideas come, and somehow you know the next words to say. And if you start wondering too much about it, then you block yourself. You block the flow. So, what am I going to say next?
Yeah.
And then anxiety arises. Well, just go with the flow and trust the process, right? It's a process. The Spirit is guiding you moment by moment, literally right now as I speak, to say the next word after word, and it just flows forward in this very guided, flowing way, without really your conscious intention. It's just happening to you and through you. How am I speaking the words right now? It's just happening. I don't know. It just happens. The words just unfold. So what is then speaking them? What is the awareness that's able to do that? And you can't ever really define that awareness. It's the mystery. I talk about mystery. It just is, and you just got to accept it and allow it to work. Okay, well, I accept this awareness works. I don't question it. I'll just allow it to direct everything. So now it's speaking for me, and when I go off this call, it'll work for me, and then it'll cook dinner for me, and and so on. And that then just is your ongoing guide in life. And then it's essential. You can't be without it. It is, because it is your true awareness that's always there. That's going to guide you moment by moment through your life. And so that's the kind of relationship that Yeshua wants us to have with it. To really okay, I completely trust you. You are my guide. You're the way shower. Every decision, every thought, every action. I get up every morning and say, okay, let every thought, every word, every action be guided by this Holy Spirit, by this awareness. Don't all get it right. Sometimes the ego comes in. But with that intention, you can quite quickly move back. The letting go is, okay, I've got to let go of temporary block to this awareness of love's presence, which is the Holy Spirit, and just let it go and restore my mind to this true awareness. And keep practicing that. After 18 years, I've got reasonably good at it. I'm not perfect by any means, but just keep working it. So just keep practicing, really. And your life is your practice of that awareness. And then your life has the only meaning it really has. And there's then meaning in every moment, because you're practicing every moment. The power of now type. I'm in the now. I'm just flowing in this awareness. And that's the purpose of my life, is to be now in this awareness, and letting go of any other awareness that's trying to hijack my mind, because it happens from time to time in vision. So I hope that's just my personal experience, perspective on it. I hope that's helpful.
It has been. Thank
of
you.
what the Holy Spirit actually is. And all I'd say to you is, go find out for yourself. It's something you've got to work at it, and you've got to be open to the guidance and just listening to it. And then more and more you start to get it. No one can really tell you, oh, here's the Holy Spirit, I'll give it to you. This is the problem with religion. Oh, we'll package it all up nicely for you. We'll give it to you, and then you're saved. Well, I mean, that's just ridiculous. Of course, that's not going to work. Because it's got to be one's own understanding, their own experiential understanding, which is going to be acquired in different ways for everyone. Everyone's on a unique hero's journey home, and your journey is not going to be exactly the same as anyone else's journey. It's completely unique, even though the final destination is the same. So think of you climbing, let's say you're in Cape Town, you're climbing Lion's Head, you're climbing Table Mountain with a couple of friends. You eventually get to the same place. You're going to get to the top. But everyone is going to have a slightly different path, even if you're on the same path, right? You're going single file up the mountain, taking, say, Skeleton Gorge or something, going up Table Mountain. Everyone's going to have a slightly different experience, aren't they? They're going to put different steps. No one's going to have exactly the same journey, unique to them, even though they end up at the top. So it's the same thing. Even if you're on the same path, using A Course in Miracles, let's say, as you're on the same path, but your experience is still going to be different from anyone else's, and that's your own hero's journey to work out and experience and enjoy the whole. You can enjoy this temporarily, although it's an illusion. You can enjoy this process of awakening. You can have a happy dream while you're here. In fact, what else is there to do? Why would you not enjoy it? Joy is your natural state and function. So if you're not enjoying it, then you're not awakening. Simple as that. So it's very simple. It's very practical, and it's just a work in progress. Just work at it. I was professional squash player, as you know, way back when. I think that prepared me very well to just go, okay, I had a long-term goal. My long-term goal was to be the world champion. I never attained it, but it was a thought system of, okay, I know that's not going to happen overnight. I know it's not going to even happen in a year or two. I've got to chip away at this for like 10 years and just keep practicing, keep working. So it was that sort of same mindset, and then just took that into spirituality. Once I let go of that egoic goal, but it was very useful, that discipline of, okay, I'll be patient, and it taught me patience, it taught me discipline, it taught me a work ethic, and then we'll just switch that to now spirituality and apply the same idea, apply the same mindset. So anyone can do this. You don't have to be any kind of genius. You're not born like some awakened being. Some teachers and teachings say, oh, well, the likes of Yeshua and the Buddha are just kind of, as they're freaks, they just kind of had divine grace. And I'd say no, they just worked at it. Maybe they were quite advanced souls when they came in as a result of previous lives' karma, but they just worked at it ongoing. Pretty intensively. The Buddha nearly killed himself doing his spiritual practices. Yeshua went for 40 days into the desert and fasted. I mean, these are not like these are not people, right? They are like 100% there, committed to their awakening, and they do the practices as a sign of that commitment. And then, voila, they suddenly awaken. You go, oh, they were really lucky. No. The Buddha worked at it for 7 years. Yeshua, arguably, I know his story exactly, but I think he went to the East for maybe 15 years, between the ages of about 13, 14, and his late 20s when he starts his ministry. Okay, that's about a 15-year period. Where was he? There's like one line in the Gospels. Each of the Gospels that describes, he grew strong and fit and healthy in his manhood, this kind of thing. And then he's the Christ, and he's now ready to do all these amazing miracles. You kind of go, okay, well, something must have happened in those 15 years. What did he get up to prepare him for that ministry? And there are records in the East of a white master who went and studied in northern India, in the ashrams there, in the monasteries of Tibet, called Issa. They called him Issa. And he was, according to the records, a master. He was an advanced yogi, essentially, who practiced these kinds of meditation and breathwork techniques that they teach in these places intensively for 15 years. Well, that would make a lot of sense. So he goes out of his culture, goes to another country where they don't understand any of this. He attains this, super knowledge through these practices, and then he comes back into his existing culture, and he's a total outlier. He's like a freak. He's like, where did you come from? We have no idea how you do this awareness, these powers that you have, which they call siddhis in the East. Just you must be the Christ. You must be the Messiah, as they called it, because you're totally, other outside of our experience. If this had happened in India or Tibet, they would have gone, oh, you're just another yogi with these advanced powers, and we've seen this before. It's nothing really that unusual because it's familiar in that culture. But in this culture, it was totally an outlier, which is why it made such an impact. And he brought this advanced mystical knowledge in a very practical way into that culture and completely transformed it and created a different. We didn't transform Judaism; they remained, but he created a different culture called Christianity, which then became the world's biggest religion in time out of his understanding. So yeah, I mean, these are just experiences of some of the masters and their own journeys of awakening and how they followed the guidance. Imagine being Yeshua at the age of 13 and making the decision to go on a caravan. It was an arduous journey, 2-3 months journey, on a caravan to the Far East, to India. Wow, I mean that's quite a step to take, isn't it? Oh, I'm leaving my whole family behind, and I'm going to go on this great adventure, and I don't really know what's going to happen. Anything could happen. I could get killed. I could die. Um, Dangerous. The robbers on these pathways. Anything could have happened. But if he did it, we don't know for sure that would have been the Holy Spirit in him to do what he needed to do, and then 15 years later, it guided him to come back, return, having done this profound hero's journey, to return to his existing culture. Exactly this framework we see in the hero. Going to profound transformation, the death of the ego, the rebirth, through all these practices, and then he comes back and he returns to the he left, and he's totally transformed, and he brings this awakened awareness into that culture, and then becomes a guide and a mentor for others on the path. And we still refer to him and his experience 2,000 years later, because he's such a powerful of someone who's taken the hero's journey and now has become a great teacher, guide, mentor to other people on the journey. And thousands, millions of people inspired by his example to go on their own journeys. And he just followed. It wouldn't have been completely clear. No one would tell him, you're the Christ, and here we go. Here's your roadmap. He would have just followed guidance moment by moment in his journey, and probably got a lot better at it as he followed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
So, do you want to read the lesson quickly, just to wrap it up?
No, I'm gonna go.
Do you want to do the lesson or not?
No, I'll
Yeah, no
listen,
problem.
catch it up
We've
in
done
the
it already. I
evening.
just thought to.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
thank you, Johnny.
Yeah. I've sent it. I sent the
Yeah.
recording. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you. All
You
right.
did too.
Thank you.
So we'll have a good weekend. We'll see you
Yeah.
next week, I hope.
Yeah. Namaste. Thanks, Jono. Thanks.
Okay. Namaste.
Namaste.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye for now. Namaste. Okay, so that is a wrap for today. Thank you to Kim and Elaine earlier for joining. If you enjoyed the session and you're watching this on a live stream or recording, then why not hit the subscribe button, subscribe. You'll be notified whenever we go live, which is typically 3 or 4 times a week. You can also go to lifebuild.com. If you're watching this, you can see that in the background of the screen. Just type in Lifebuild as you see it spelled there, lifebuild.com, or you can click one of the links below in the chat box or text box with the description of this video, and they'll take you to a page where you can sign up to receive a daily inspirational quote from me, which beginning today's one, some commentary on that. Usually have a bit of my own writing on the quote, which leads into the daily lesson, coming from A Course in Miracles workbook in its original alternative form, as you saw, an alternative language to help, as well as a section from the Manual for Teachers. We're currently covering, in the first part of the year, we do the text of A Course in Miracles, again in the original alternative language, along with shorter breath break recordings to help you practice that lesson through the day, longer meditations to practice the lesson as long, and invitations to join these live sessions 5 days a week. Potentially we do them, so you'll get notified when they are, how to join them via a Zoom link. So check it all out at lifebuild.com, sign up, and I hope to catch you on the inside of one of these sessions or on the inside of the group soon. Thanks for watching or listening, and namaste, which means the true self in me honors that same true holy self. Wishing you much love, peace, and joy in that self.